Today on Forbes, Chicago's hot dog king, Dick Portillo, on selling out and moving on. It's been 11 years since Richard Dick Portillo sold Portillo's, the restaurant chain offering up Chicago-style hot dogs and Italian beef sandwiches that he founded in 1963. Sitting in the living room of his 9,000-square-foot home in the Chicago suburbs, a short drive away from the location of the original Portillo's he opened more than 60 years ago, the 85-year-old former Marine is feeling nostalgic. He says, quote, "I'm sorry I sold. I didn't owe 10 cents to anybody." But ultimately, he knew it was the right decision to make. He says, quote, "There were 24 private equity groups that were interested in buying Portillo's. The timing was right." Portillo had spent more than 5 decades building the company from a single hot dog stand in a 6x12-foot trailer without running water into a regional chain so beloved that the city of Chicago officially declared April 5th, the day it was founded, as Portillo's Day. By 2014, the company was bringing in about $300 million in revenues from 38 locations in 4 states. The chain had no debt, and Portillo owned every single restaurant himself. He cashed out that July, pocketing nearly $1 billion from Boston-based private equity firm Berkshire Partners. Suddenly, he found himself with a lot of cash and not much to do. He negotiated soon after the sale to buy back the land and buildings of 20 Portillo's restaurants and commissaries in Illinois and Arizona for more than $100 million, locking in 20-year leases at some of the chain's highest-grossing locations. The average Portillo's brings in about $7.6 million, more than fast-growing giants such as Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's. Chicago area locations, where the brand is better known, rake in an average $11 million. He also stayed on as a consultant through 2021, earning $2 million a year. He's since reinvested the rest of his proceeds into dozens of different businesses, including everything from strip malls in the Chicago suburbs and industrial properties in Indiana to Houston apartments and spec homes in Naples, Florida. He's the majority owner of the Boathouse at Disney Springs, America's third highest-grossing independent restaurant with $47 million in revenues last year. He's also an investor in an iconic Chicago steakhouse. And he's also bought 4 more Portillo locations, with plans to buy more. All that, plus his portfolio of bonds, private equity, and stocks, plus his homes, jet, and yacht, named Top Dog, has made Portillo richer than ever, worth more than $1 billion, based on Forbes' estimates. Still, even with this much success, he readily admits it's a less exciting life than the days when he was building his first business. He recalls, quote, "Portillo's was fun. A lot of work. My God, the hours and the sacrifices. I'm sorry I sold. I was happier. I'm happy now, but it was more fun." Born in Chicago to a Greek immigrant mother and a Mexican immigrant father who worked in factories and sold insurance, Portillo grew up poor in a public housing project. He wasn't a great student, and 7 days after high school graduation in 1957, he enlisted in the Marines. After 2 years at Camp Pendleton in California, he moved back to Chicago and married his high school sweetheart, Sharon. Then he got to work, toiling at junkyards and factories, driving trucks, and unloading boxcars, while Sharon worked as a waitress. But with one child and another on the way, Portillo wanted to turn his life around. Noticing how many hot dog stands littered Chicago's streets, he decided to set up his own, but in the suburbs, where there was much less competition. He opened his first stand in the suburb of Villa Park in 1963. Then 23 years old, he convinced his wife to pour their life savings of $1,100, about $11,600 today, into the business, which he named, quote, "the Doghouse." His brother, Frank, put in an equal amount, but Portillo bought him out 4 months later. Portillo knew nothing about restaurants or hot dogs, so he stalked rival spots to figure out where they bought their meat, buns, and condiments. And eventually, the business started growing. Sales doubled each year, and by 1967, he moved to a brick-and-mortar building and renamed the business Portillo's. For full coverage, check out Giacomo Tagnini's piece on forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.